Well, it's time for this week's Goofy, but so many Goofies, so little time. I'm going to start with the Prime Minister, who, with his penchant for the WTF statement, from Fidel Castro, who was a beloved leader by Cubans, despite the fact that an estimated 98,000 died trying to flee his regime, to this week's beauty, an admission that his brother was charged for possession of marijuana, but his father, former Prime Minister, in Justin Trudeau's own words, used his connections and resources to make the charges disappear. Well, that's a level playing field. And an insight into the elitist world our current Prime Minister grew up in. But how he didn't see the controversial nature of that statement's beyond me. Up next, the standard bearer for so many Canadians, the United Nations. They love to cite the United Nations as some sort of authority for all kinds of actions. You must have UN approval before you take action. Well, I'm going to leave aside that this is an organization dominated by dictators, despots, and kleptocrats, and instead focus on the latest fiasco, which has Saudi Arabia elected to the UN's Women's Rights Council. Really? As UN Watch, a human rights organization monitoring the performance of the United Nations, stated, in citing Saudi Arabia's atrocious record on women's rights, and quotes, electing Saudi Arabia to protect women's rights is like making an arsonist into the town fire chief. Absolutely. Nothing new for the UN. Remember last September? They appointed Iran to the Commission on the Status of Women. That was the same month the UN human rights official petitioned Iran to halt the planned execution of a woman who was sentenced for murdering or killing an Iranian intelligence officer who raped her. By the way, in case you're not aware, Saudi Arabian women are not allowed to drive cars. Each woman must have a male guardian who controls all important decisions, and all of the decisions are important. Best part of the Saudi Arabia's election was at least 5 European Union countries voted for them. And finally, very quickly, late entry, Canada's Minister of Defense, who this week claimed he was the architect of Operation Medusa in Afghanistan. Not true. I don't know why politicians do something like that. It's beyond me. But, of course, his claim brought a quick response from numerous members of the military, outraged at the false claim. Heck, why didn't he claim being architect of D-Day or Hannibal's crossing of the Alps to defeat Rome? Got to get a good one in there. Anyways, a great week for Goofies, but you go out and have a great weekend. My thanks for listening.